Welcome to the Kortex Media Podcast, Marketing Accelerator, your compass for navigating the dynamic world of marketing and business growth. I'm Korson Schmidt, founder of Kortex Media. Our mission is to equip marketing agencies with the custom growth solutions they need to unlock massive revenue increases and scale their business. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we are joined by a leader who brings a rare blend of legal expertise and creative strategy. David Arato from Lexicon Legal Content. David specializes in creating compliant SEO-optimized content for law firms and other marketing agencies. David is here to share how to navigate the toughest regulatory landscapes while driving measurable growth. David, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Korson. Happy to be here.
No worries, David. I'm excited to get into this one, kind of hear more about what you guys are doing with AI, with SEO, with content in general. So, before we dive into that, David, let's start off with Lexicon. Who are you guys? What do you guys do? What do you guys specialize in? Just so I can get to know you guys a little bit more, the audience can get to know you guys and understand what you guys do at the end of the day.
Sure. We create marketing content for law firms throughout North America with a focus for search engine optimization and these days also artificial intelligence optimization. So getting our clients in the top of the search results for relevant search terms, and also getting them into the AI overviews and the results in LLM platforms like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, etc. We work mostly with other agencies that outsource their content needs to us, but we also work directly with law firms.
Okay, amazing. And you guys work on more on that compliance side of the content as well, not just straight SEO content, etc. You guys work on a very compliant side of it, making sure that their content is legal and etc. Do you mind explaining that a little bit more?
I would say that we're operating. No, totally. That's a great question. I would say that we're operating in a nexus of copywriting, search engine optimization, and compliance. So in the legal vertical, in legal marketing, I should say, it's essential for your content to be accurate. There are also bar rules in every state that might vary a bit to bit, state to state, about what you can say, what you can't say. For example, in most states, you can't call yourself an expert. So for people in the content creation industry who don't have a legal background like myself, or work with a company that has expertise in legal like Lexicon, you're working with people who may not know what they don't know. You know, it's like what you don't know to even question, can I use the word expert? Can I use the word specialist? Right. So so compliance is a big part of what we do. Yes.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate that. Now, do you mind taking us through just a quick case study so people can understand your process on how you guys help, whether it be marketing agencies, whether it be a law firm, get the result that they came to you to grow or whatever they were looking for?
Let's use a hypothetical just so I don't violate any NDAs that may or may not exist that I don't know about or don't remember.
Yeah, no worries.
So let's say a law firm comes to us and they realize that, they're not showing up. You're in Ontario. Are you in Toronto?
I'm in Ontario, near Toronto, a couple hours away.
But let's use Toronto for the purpose of this conversation. Yeah. So you're a law firm, you're in Toronto, and you're not showing up for the term car accident lawyer in Toronto, and you really want to show up for that term. One of the ways to start the process of getting more visibility for that term is to create content that is responsive to potential clients who are querying that term and related terms, that key phrase, right? Mm-hmm. So law firm comes to us and says, we're really looking to get some car accident cases in Toronto. Help us create content to achieve that goal. So what we'll do is we'll look at where they are now. We'll use some tools on our end to look at search volume, keyword difficulty, content gap analysis, etc. And then we'll start creating content for that law firm, posting it either as practice area pages on their websites, as static pages, or in their blog. So those are typically like longer tail keywords, so more specific queries. Mm-hmm. What should I do after a car accident in Toronto, right? Like a longer tail that we're trying to match. Yeah. And then we do some technical things to that content, like interlink it with other existing pages on the website. We are adding schema markup to the content. So both search engines and AI can figure out what it's about quickly without having to read it. That's what schema helps with. Okay. We're also doing some on-site optimization I'm sorry, I should say on-page optimization. So like adding an image and adding an alt tag that includes that keyword, all in the goal of getting this piece of content to rank for a given search term.
Okay, amazing. I love that breakdown. Keeps it really light and easy so people can really understand. Now, speaking of the SEO, GEO, optimization engine, etc., there's so many different words for it. There's so many different ways you can call it, but that landscape is evolving so much, but at the same time staying the same. So how are you guys navigating this landscape of SEO, GEO, AEO, whatever you want to call it, alphabet soup?
EIO is what we're calling it.
Exactly.
No, it's funny. I feel like just on a side point there, I feel like the industry is kind of settling on AIO. If you check Google Trends, GEO is staying pretty flat. AIO is going up in volume. AEO is another term, as you mentioned. But anyhow, how are we staying on top of it? So like we are our test lab. My company, Lexicon, is the test lab. And every time we're publishing content, we're looking in, it's a little bit meta level. We're trying to market ourselves as the experts in getting your law firm into AIO overviews or AI results by getting ourselves into the AI results and saying, look, we can do it for ourselves. We know how to do it for you. So what I'm seeing working really, really well is content that's conversational rather than like encyclopedic. So like really like responding to the query that is being asked. So because I think what's happening here is people are more conversational. So it used to be the case with Google in the olden days, 2022, that people would actually, if you were a sophisticated internet user, I think people would actually search terms. Toronto car accident lawyer car accident Toronto, stuff like this, right? Now people are more conversational with AI. I got in a car accident in downtown Toronto. Who should I call? Right? So like that conversational query, what we're seeing is that conversational content is being cited in more conversational queries with AIs. I mentioned schema earlier too. I personally am seeing results with implementing schema markup in our content, specifically our blogs, that I'm getting us into AI overviews hours after we publish. And I'm not exaggerating. We will publish something in the afternoon. I will check that evening, and we're showing up in the AI overviews. And I think that has a lot to do with schema.
Can I hold you there? Do you mind explaining a little bit more what schema is, just for people who maybe don't know?
Absolutely. I hope I don't butcher it. It's code that sits in your content. It's not HTML code. I'm going to screw up the explanation a little bit. I'm going to try my best because I know it is intuitively. So it is code that tells search engines and AI what a piece of content is about. So there are various types of schema. So if you have FAQs, there's FAQ schema that parses it out. This is the question, this is the answer. There's also organization schema that says this is Lexicon Legal Content. They've got an office on 17th Street in Denver. Here's who owns it. Here's who David Arato is. Here's where we went to law school. All this stuff, and it's providing the information in a very easily digestible way, so that search engines know what it's about right away. Does that answer well enough? Yeah. Okay, good. And I think the code that you're using is an agreed upon code that was invented or created 15 years ago or so by a collective of search engines that all wanted to have an easier way to parse websites. Okay. It's not HTML. Anyway, so I talked about conversational content. I talked about schema. Yep. Those are really, finally, freshness. I think content freshness is a huge factor in getting cited by AI. If you think about the way these models were created, they digested terabytes of data, right? And existing data on the internet or Reddit or what New York Times is now suing, I think, Anthropic. But the point is, like, just tons and tons of data, and they're hungry for more. I mean, not literally, but if they don't ingest new information, they're going to give static responses, right? So I think it's important for us as publishers and people who are engaged in optimizing our own or clients' websites for AI to be adding something new to the conversation. Because I think both Google, other search engines, the AI want to surface the most relevant and newest information to a query.
Now, to just bounce off that a little bit there, David, sure. If there was a law firm, for example, because you guys work within that law firm space, or maybe a marketing agency that wants to, we'll go with marketing agency because that's who's going to be listening to this. I have a lot of marketing agencies that listen to these podcasts. So let's say we had a marketing agency that wanted to really start ranking in these AI overviews. What would be the number one thing you would tell them to do to really optimize that side of their SEO strategies? Would it be go ahead.
Create a bunch of content, make it good content, answer queries that your potential clients are looking for or searching. Also, third-party citations, I think, are huge right now, like third-party validation. So what we're seeing, for example, I'm publishing in a lot of trade publications personally under my name. Attorney at Law Magazine, Attorney at Work is another trade publication I'm publishing in. We have write-ups in these third-party, like agency reviews, right? And these all, I think, signal to AIs that this is a legitimate business. Mm-hmm. They've got a good reputation. Hopefully your reviews are good. And we should surface them when there's a query about where to find marketing agency A. And let me clarify something. When we work with marketing agencies, we're white labeling. Mm-hmm. So this is how it typically works. Let's say you own a marketing agency. You don't have a legal background, I assume. I don't want to make assumptions, but I don't think we have not talked about it. A law firm comes to you and they're like, hey, can you help us? Can you build us a website? Can you optimize that website? And you need content. You as the agency owner or agency staff, whatever, may not have the legal expertise or likely don't have the legal expertise to ensure that the content is accurate and compliant with the bar rules in their jurisdiction, whether it's their province or their state. So you come to us and we white label our services through that agency to the end user law firm. So really, we've created a situation where we're providing consumer-facing marketing agencies with content support when they have specialized clients that need technical content.
Amazing. No, that's awesome. Thanks for that quick breakdown just to understand more about how you guys work with marketing agencies in the space. Sure. So marketing agencies listening to this, if you guys work with law firms or don't have any... Yeah, exactly. Call David. He's the guy to speak to. Now, Dave, if there's someone getting started with their business today and they wanted to really make a solid foundational website, I mean, you have these amazing AI tools out there to make websites very easily, like Lovable, for example. But are they really that solid in the SEO or AEO or AIO space to really get results in these LLMs? Now, just to expand that question a little bit more and really ask the question. Should we be using programs like Lovable and et cetera, or stick with our Squarespace, our Wixes to really build more of a foundational website when building a website?
I'm going to preface this question by saying this is not my area of expertise. Okay. We do not do website design. We do not build websites. Okay. But just being in the space, I'm adjacent to it. Yep. So I think I can speak on it a little bit. And in my own experience, I've built my own websites for this business and worked with other people. Yeah. Long story short, ultimately, I think the more customization you have, the better you're going to do for SEO long term. I do not have personal experience with any platform other than WordPress, but I do know that WordPress, I mean, I sound like a dinosaur here, I know, but like WordPress, at least in the legal industry, WordPress is still the industry standard. It truly is. And I think in what I've seen the back end of Wix and Squarespace, in my opinion, WordPress toes a really good line between ease of use and customization. Because you can, please answer this question for me. Can you actually get into the HTML code on Wix? I don't know.
I've never used Wix either. I can't answer that question.
Okay.
On top of it as well.
I think that as long as you can get access to your actual code, the SEO results, the question is how customizable the website is. And if you're locked out by your website builder of certain things, that's going to negatively affect your SEO. Gotcha. So that's where I'm at with it. Does that answer the question sufficiently?
Yeah. No, that's perfect. Now I want to dive a little bit further. I know that just touched AI tools. Now, AI and automation is taking over the industry very quickly. You see a lot of AI you see a lot of automated blogs. People create agents, create blog posts, etc., to really benefit their content, maybe benefit it. That's going to be my next question is, are these agents we're using, are all these tools we're using to make things a little bit more efficient on the SEO side of things and GEO side of things? So if you had an agent creating your blog posts through ChatGPT or an LLM like that, and feeding it into your blog post, into your website, or into your maybe just LinkedIn content, is it really making a huge impact on your GEO and SEO, etc.? Or because AI made that, published it, and AI is going to be the one reading it, it doesn't correlate?
These LLMs are by design creating generic content. By design. By design, it's smoothed out, unoffensive, perfect grammar, right? Like, by design, it's generic. What I mean by that is the way they operate, like pick the next most likely word, right? So if we're all using the same, and okay, if we're talking about a rankings game, which we are here, like there's, even with AI, there's still, the top of the screen exists and there's ordinal results afterwards, right? Like they're ranked results. If we're all using the same tools and we're all creating the same content writ large, none of it's going to rank well, right? That's the problem here. That like, and trust me, like when I played with ChatGPT 2022 and like 3 years ago now, I guess, I looked at my wife, who's my business partner as well, and I was like, okay, Aaron, I'm going to take the Colorado bar because we're done with this bit. Like we're done. I was like, this is going to take over. Quickly, it became clear to me that the content, generated by LLMs without human intervention, none of it ranks because it's not getting new information. It's not being personalized. It's not being made to be better content because AI is creating generic content by design. Again, I keep going back to this, right? So like, if all of us use the same tools, we're all going to get similar content and none of it's going to rank well. So while AI is another tool in the content creator's toolbox, to walk away from it and say, just this is on autopilot, you're wasting your money and your time. I truly believe that. I don't think pure AI content is going to rank well. And as the tools get better, this is like the kind of absurdist long view of it. As the AI tools get better, their output's going to get better, but then someone else is going to add something out more to that output that makes it rank higher than the generic output. So there's always going to be another layer of how am I going to outrank agency B using AI to create content by being agency A that adds something new to the conversation. And then they see what I'm saying. It's like that competitive nature of ranking is going to keep a human in the loop to some extent. I think for the foreseeable future.
Iteration and testing to ensure they can get the best content possible for their business to get them the best results. Now,
and if someone outranks us with AI content, we'll create some more content and change it from AI content, what AI spits out, and make it better than theirs, right?
Yeah. Now I know Reddit, Wikipedia are pulling these LLMs are pulling a lot of data from Reddit and Wikipedia, and those seems to be really great trackers to get your content out there because there's so much information on those programs. Now, spoken to an individual on the podcast who is very educated in the Wikipedia space, and I haven't really heard much about the Reddit space yet, but do you guys go out and build content on Reddit and try to use Wikipedia Wikipedia is a tough user, but do you guys use Reddit to try to leverage your AI capabilities to get them to pop up within these LLMs?
I use it for us. Because I think it's violative of their terms of service to go impersonate. First of all, we can't impersonate our law firm clients. We can't do it. Like ethically, they shouldn't have us do it under the bar rules. We shouldn't do it ethically, so we're not doing it there. I'm posting in like legal marketing Reddit, law firm marketing Reddit for us, and it's been fantastic. I've gotten fantastic results. So I do know and have firsthand knowledge that posting in Reddit will get you into the LLM results. Wikipedia is a tough nut to crack, right? They have a lot of standards. Like getting a Wikipedia page is difficult. So I can't speak to that. I know in the industry, there's a lot of talk about how if you can in any way get yourself a wiki, get that page, right? But like they have notability standards, and apparently certain people don't fit their standards yet, right?
Yeah.
But to Reddit, yes. And that's a service like, look, as soon as I've thought about trying to monetize that in our business, but I also don't want to violate Reddit's terms of service. I don't think it's good business practices to engage in unethical or violative activities.
Yeah, it's I mean, like you said, I don't know a ton about the space, and I don't know a ton about using Reddit to really rank your stuff. But if you say it works and you do it for your own company, I feel like why not do it for your own company and get into your own threads to talk about your company. But like you said, keep it within the legal aspects of it.
So
don't outdo yourself.
One tactic I heard about is a legal marketing conference I was recently at, was in the legal marketing world, getting reviews is a big deal. Now, this isn't my space specifically, but I was at a talk at a conference, PIMCon, last fall in Scottsdale. Great conference. If you're in legal, you should go. So the talk was about how to get reviews for your law firm. And the speaker was saying what you should have is a QR code with your Google business account that lands at your Google business account at your receptionist desk. And every time a happy client walks in or walks out, ask them to leave a review. And the speaker said you could flip this and make it like if you were really happy, post about us on Reddit. We'll give you a $100 Starbucks gift card. Incentivize your happy customers or clients to get on Reddit and talk about you. Because it's one thing to talk about yourself. Mm-hmm. It's a lot better when someone else is talking about you. And like, we shouldn't create fake accounts and spam Reddit with fake reviews about your business. But there are ways to incentivize your happy customers to get in there and find an appropriate subreddit and give you a good user-generated content review.
Yep. Well, especially if they're active users, it's going to rank that much better within these LLMs as well. So
absolutely,
that's actually amazing aspect. Yeah, that's a great point. Now, I've been listening to a few people. One of the gentlemen that had my podcast had a webinar last week, and he's all about podcasts, blog posts, and really creating an SEO strategy with using everything in this whole podcasting realm. Podcasting is super strong because, number one, you can use it as a lead gen aspect. We were talking about this earlier, and I just wanted to kind of bring it into effect because I know you're kind of looking that way as well. Podcasting is great. You can use it as lead gen. You can use it for your content, short form content on your social platforms, and you can also use it for written content on your blog posts, your LinkedIn, etc. You can use it all.
That's
over.
Right.
So there's amazing tools that you can use your podcast for. Are you seeing a lot of companies start taking advantage of podcasts and really using that to build their SEO, GEO platforms? Or are you seeing, a lot of people have podcasts these days, so maybe it's an open-ended question, but what's your opinion on that landscape? Is it a great strategy, or is it something maybe you should start looking out of because there is so many people doing it?
Well, I think to your point, the barrier to entry in creating a podcast is very, very low these days. Anyone can do it. That being said, I think it's a great tool. We don't have one yet. I'm looking at starting one next year. I've been on a guest on podcasts this year probably 30 times. And as a guest, it's expanded my professional network, which has been great. On top of it, I get a ton of free, other than my time, content that I get to promote with, saying, hey, look, I was on this podcast. Check out our company, right? So like there's a sort of mutual benefit. Like I'm a guest, I get free content to promote our business. You get content, everyone's happy. I think it really depends on your business model. I see it more, and this is intuitive, I might be wrong. It might be my anecdotal, like small experience, but I think that if you're running business to business, if you're in the business to business space, I think a podcast is great. It creates legitimacy. It expands your network. Your potential clients are interested in what you're talking about, right? Like they want to learn about marketing, for example, or like how to market a law firm. Like if you have a consumer facing business, I could see it being less valuable. And again, off the cuff here, like, I don't know that a person who has not experienced a car accident or a slip and fall or any other sort of injury causing an accident is going to be riveted by some personal injury attorney's podcast, right, about injury law. Like, they don't care until they need it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think it really depends on the type of business you're in.
Great point. I mean, unless it's like amazing content that you guys can leverage and and it's something someone's passionate about, that's really going to resonate with your consumer. That's
I agree
completely. Yeah, I agree with everything that you said there as well. So, I mean, David, looking ahead for Lexicon, into the future of Lexicon, what does the future look like? How bright is it for you guys? And what's that vision you guys are driving towards?
It's a great question. It's been a rocky ride. Like, it's been a very disruptive 3 years. But we are a stronger company than we were 3 years ago. And when I tell that story about taking the Colorado bar, the night I first played with ChatGPT, I really thought we were done. I honestly think the future is extraordinarily bright for us in content creation. We're going to expand into other formats of content outside of just textual content, which has been great for us so far. And there's still a huge market for it. But I think there are other avenues we can explore. If nothing else, generative AI has allowed people to create shitty content for almost $0, right? So more and more people are generating more and more content. And to some extent, content marketing is a volume game. So while it's been disruptive, even in terms of price, it's been disruptive. We are doing more business today than we were 3 years ago. And I see that trend continuing, because as more people create more content, there's going to be more need to stand out from that crowd with really great content, and also volume. Like, both things are true, right? Like, creating content regularly, but also creating great content.
Yeah, that's a great point. You're not going to outrank someone using the same content that they're getting from ChatGPT that you're using for ChatGPT, right? That's just right. Like we talked about earlier. You need to make sure you're standing out. Marketing, that's what marketing's been since day one, right? How can you stand out the most so you attract your ideal customer? And that's what marketing still is, but it's going to get all washed up into who can do it the fastest, who can do it the most. But at the same time, if you still do it the fastest and the most, you're not going to get the best results. Maybe right now, because we're still early in this phase, but everyone else is going to be up to par. And the stuff that's going to stand out and show the difference is the stuff that is actually written by hand, in my opinion, or just have a different touch to it somehow, if you could find a way to do that. But it's always going to be evolving as well.
I just want to speak to your last point quickly. Yeah. I think that, and I fell into this trap for probably a year of like this binary way of thinking of like, is this human content? Is this AI content? And I think that binary thinking is a trap, because AI does certain things really, really well in creating content.
Yeah.
And also does things really, really poorly. But it makes us faster content creators. Let me give a small example. Every piece of content that we create for a law firm ends with a call to action. It's telling the reader, call us, we can help you. Here's our phone number. Here's our contact form. Here's our Twitter. Here's whatever. Like, you can get in touch with us. In order for Google to index that content, it's got to be unique. It cannot be duplicate. So we can't create, let's say we do 365 blogs for a law firm over the course of a year. We cannot reuse that call to action 365 times. We have to write a unique call to action each time, right? AI is great at this. Here's a call to action. Rewrite this 365 different ways using the same value proposition. AI does that. We have to do that. We used to have to do that by hand.
Yeah.
And we don't. So that's made us faster, better content creators. That said, AI isn't going to go, I mean, if you feed enough information, but this is part of the job. It's not going to figure out like what the most dangerous intersection in Toronto is, and then write a piece of content from the perspective of someone familiar with the area who knows the Lebanese restaurant in the corner, right? Like, these little tiny details that AI, you could feed it to AI, but at this point, it's actually just easier for a human being with knowledge or with research ability to look up what's going on at that corner in Toronto and write a piece of content about it that speaks to other Torontoans. Is that how we call them?
I don't even know what you call them. I'm not from there. I don't associate with Toronto, but I don't know what you call that.
Fair enough. I just keep using it because it was our first example from earlier.
It's totally good. I live near Toronto. I'll put it that way.
It's a big.
It's a big spot. It's definitely a big spot for sure. But great point. And I mean, why not use AI? It's free. It's out here. It's going to make things more efficient. Just use it properly and don't abuse it at the end of the day. That's what I tell everyone. And that's the best way to leverage it to really get the best results that you're looking for.
We have a competitor that was on the absolutely no AI train for a long time, and he's changed his tune recently. But every time I saw his post, I'm thinking to myself, you're doing your clients a disservice. You have this tool that will allow you to do this faster, less expensively, and better. So use the tool. Just what you can't do is go to ChatGPT and say, give me 500 words on topic X, and then deliver it and act like it's good work. That's what you can't do, you know?
It's great content. I just think it needs human oversight at the end of the day.
100%.
Like, human oversight, make some changes so it's not exactly the way it came out of AI. It makes a huge difference to the people reading it, to yourself, because you also read it so you can touch it into your own words. And no one will ever know because you're the one that edited it. You basically wrote it, right?
It's like having a really smart, very inexpensive assistant.
Yeah.
Write me the first draft of this, and then I'll clean it up and put my own spin on it, right? Like that. And this has been happening in the copywriting industry for decades. You're just cutting out that first human like slog of writing it by hand. And it's so funny in three years how like I look at this content, I'm like, how did we do this? Right? Like
Literally.
how did we write this by hand 365 different ways? Yeah. And we did. It's so funny.
And the time you save to focus more on your client's result, your client's data, and really see what's working and what's not, that's the factor that is super important, because you're saving your client thousands of dollars a month.
That's right.
Because you're not having to sit there and write content. You can look at the data, see what worked, and then get more of what worked very quickly.
That's right. We're doing better, higher level work without having to do, I don't want to call it low level because writing is an important skill to have, but very time consuming work that isn't strategic, right? Like it's only the creation of the piece of content was only step one of distribution and optimization. And like making that time consuming part faster allows us to focus on the high level stuff that actually moves the needle.
Yeah. Yeah. And you still thought of the idea. You still had to prompt it. I want to blog like this. It's still your creative idea. You just didn't take the time to sit down with a pencil and figure it all out. But that's what the amazing tool is about, AI. And that's why we should all be using it. Automations, on the other hand, amazing for saving time throughout your day, even more than just AI. I love automations because you can do so much. It's infinite what you can link together and build into an actual systems and processes for your business. I think it's incredible. Are you guys using any amazing systems like this to benefit you guys selves and your clients?
We're looking into it right now, just not my area of expertise. So we've spoken to a couple consultants about it. And, I'm familiar that N8N is a thing, right? Like, I know it exists. I'm like, I haven't gotten past Zapier. I never know which one it is. But like we've used Zaps to automate some things. But now I understand that the capabilities are so much more these days than they used to be. It's no longer like move this file from the spreadsheet to this email. Like it's insane. And we need to look into it.
It's insane how fast everything moves and how new things come about. But if you guys can kind of get the grasp of it now, the future is going to be so much brighter, just like AI. If you can get the grasp of it now and use it properly now, the future is so bright. So, David, I have one final question, and that's for young entrepreneurs just getting started in the marketing industry today. What is the best piece of advice you have for them to take their first couple steps?
This is new advice from me, but it's because I came to this later in my career. Do not discount the power of in-person networking. We didn't do any conferences. We have been a fully remote company since 2010. And things were good. Things went along well. Once we got on the conference circuit and started shaking people's hands and meeting people in our industry, things exploded. And I think there's a trap here as we're all fully remote. We can be fully remote, especially since COVID happened, whatever, but the technology was there before. That you can fall into a trap of thinking, I can build this business as large as I want to, as big as I want to. I can get as many clients as I want sitting behind my desk in my second bedroom or whatever it is, right? The in-person networking is still real. It is still a thing. You got to go out there. You got to meet people, have dinner, buy them the cocktails, whatever, because people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. There are people who are clients now that I've been harassing with emails and phone calls and LinkedIn messages for years. And once I met them in person, that's when we started doing business.
That's a great point. No one wants to do that anymore. Since COVID, everyone's kind of been stuck behind their screen and no one wants to do it. I mean, we're starting to see more conferences come about, but like your advice, go to them. Have those conversations.
Go. And even if it's $2,000 and you don't feel like spending $2,000, that $2,000 is, if you do a good job at that conference, that $2,000 is going to turn to $100,000 of business. So don't think of it as a personal expense. Think of it as a business expense.
And an investment into what could be in the future, right? It's all marketing. That's, that's part of your marketing curve, and really going to help you stand out from the crowd, just like marketing is all supposed to be. And one very important part, just another bounce off of that, is the trust aspect. You said people want to work with people they know, love, and trust. Trust is the biggest aspect within an agency to client relationship right now. And if you can build those relationships from a person-to-person conference or going out for dinner, that relationship is so much stronger than anyone else within the market. So,
and that's the part AI can't do. Well. AI can't do that yet, right? AI can like write you a personalized email and say, I mean, I got one the other day that was like, I went to this restaurant in Breckenridge, Colorado, where I live. And I was like, no, you didn't. This is AI. You saw my address and you know, right? Because no one goes to this restaurant. Long story short, you can fake, like you can create an email sequence that's highly personalized, but AI cannot go out to dinner on your behalf.
Yeah, for sure. Great point. David, where can people find you if they want to get in contact with you or learn more about Lexicon and what you guys are doing?
Absolutely. Email is david@lexiconlegalcontent.com. And I'm all over all the socials. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, X, wherever.
Awesome. David, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me for the podcast, diving through kind of SEO, legal, AI, all of the above. It's been a pleasure hearing your insights into the industry today and how to navigate the space. Do you have anything else to say to the viewers?
No, thanks for having me on, Korson. This has been great.
Thanks, David.